Got good defense already. Nobody? You suck at defense? That's it? This is going to be real hard to have to give and take here if you guys aren't going to tell me what's going on. Defense, look at it like there's no secret move. You know, like Robbie gets in, high crotch. Like, what's the secret move to get him off my leg here? I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to steal position from him. So if he's the guy drilling, or he's the guy shooting on me, where's he going to go out of his high crotch? Right? What's like really good position, perfect position if you can call it that? This is pretty good, right? Hips in, back straight, head up. He's taking my sprawl away. And he's going to be cutting that corner, trying to get around me. Here, getting off my hips. So if I'm thinking defensively, this guy gets in really clean, gets past my hands, and he's in the deepest high crotch he can be in. My hand is already coming down to block. You know, I'd rather keep him on one leg than two. If I don't block right away, he shoots in, he's coming across, and now I gotta defend a double instead of just one leg. Right? So there's a couple things that are automatic. He shoots in, I want to be blocking, and I'm starting to shift my weight down. Because I don't want him coming up, come up here and wrapping around me, getting this corner. Now he's off my hips. Right? I'm gonna keep him on my hips. So just to start, let's have partner get here, warming up, come up, get around the corner, drive them up. Get a feel for what that position feels like. If I'm the guy shooting, I take my high crotch, I want to be here. Hips hugged in, I can pop, I can move them. Alright. So nice and easy, get your body loose, shot, wrapping the leg up. Go threes. Shot, wrapping the leg up, I want to be hugging his hips. So if you get there, you might as well start there. That's the worst place to be defensively, right? Sound good? All right, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Single side. Here. You notice when I pick the legs up, there's probably one side that Robbie's better at flexibility-wise, because guys are just getting on a single leg on that side. So I get him up to here, he's pretty flexible. I get him up on the single leg side. He automatically can go up a little higher. He's more used to people being on this leg, right? So there's a high crotch side, there's a single side that you're automatically better at because that's the side that most people shoot on. Does that make sense? Right? So I know that going in, like I'm better at defending a high crotch on this side, I'm better at defending a single leg on this side. So it's really, here he shoots a high crotch. This can become a single leg just by moving his head. He shoots a single leg on this side. It can become a high crotch just by moving his head, right? So know which side you're on. Maybe you wrestle a guy that shoots lefty high crotches. Here, but this is your single side. Now you're not a single. That make sense? High crotch, maybe he's a righty single guy. But this is your high crotch side. I switch him over to a high crotch. Does that make sense? So that's an easy place to start from. You got to know which side you want to defend, right? If you shot a right side single, it's probably because he's good here finishing a right side single. Let's see how good he is finishing a right side high single, right? So just go from positioning. This drill, he shoots in, or high crotch. Doesn't really matter where he's at, just get used to moving his head, pulling your hips back. He's going to crowd into you, go back high C, here. I'm blocking his arm the whole time. Even though he's got position on me, I'm keeping him from coming up. So it's being patient, being relaxed in here. Just because he's in on my leg doesn't mean I got to get him off right away, right? So he's building, he's got his head coming up. I put him back single. Maybe he switches off to a double, then a single or a high crotch. I switch him to a single. I'm trying to work his head down. He's going to be a good partner staying up. Throw him back this side. Get back to blocking. And this is where I stay patient. I'm dropping my butt down to meet him. I switch him here. Now I'm trying to square up, stuff his head. He's cornering. Maybe he switches off the other leg. Here, I want him on a high crotch. All right? So just get used to being comfortable keeping him in front of you. Good? 1, 2, 3. throws my head back outside, back posture, posture up. Here, maybe it's double. He throws me back inside, posture up, outside, posture up. Because that's going to be the fight that you mimic in a match, right? You throw a guy's head, he's going to be good, so he knows he's got work to get in. Throw him here, he knows he's got to work to get in. All right? Moving on from there, and say he gets a high crotch. Where I go personally is trying to bump his head inside. So some of you are like pushing his head, getting in here. Just try to club him with your forearm. Here. And my goal is to put my hip right on his head. Stuff here. I'm going to run his head back towards his far ankle. If you look at it, this guy Beachy's in great position. No matter how much you sprawl your leg back, he's got you sucked in there, right? He's got your hips locked up. His hips are in tight. Never going to get my hips back. So I throw inside, and then I catch up to his head. Stuff it down on my hip, here. And I start running it back towards his far leg. Driving him backwards to move his base. That shot comes, high crotch. I stuff him, keep him from building up on me. Try to build. Just freeze him on the mat here. My weight is dropping, I keep him on the mat. Throw inside. Then I'm covering his head and catching up to his leg. If I catch his leg, his hips are stuck. And I can get him over that far hip. Just heavy hips, heavy hips, heavy hips. We got lazy, this guy's good. Great shot, he should finish from here. Not if I'm relaxed and comfortable with my defense. Here. Defending, sliding in, he's posturing up. Keeping the arm blocked. Bump, set. And I square with my hip. Stuff his head. Try to put my hip right on it. Catch up to his leg. And this leg's coming back as I turn. So I catch it, and you square your hips. Bring this one back. Back, 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 back. Great shot. Confident in our defense. As he's posturing up, switch his head, and now I got to catch that hip. So it's a race for me. Good? See it again? No? Yes? Yes, all right. Don't be afraid to speak up. Great shot. See how I'm lowering? Okay? All I'm really worried about here is him cutting me out. Sitting me like a crackdown. Go that way. So I know that's coming. I'm ready for it. My feet can catch up. Drop. Throw. There it is. I got to get it. Hustle to get the leg. If you can sit his opposite butt cheek on the mat, you have good pressure. Good? 1, 2, 3. My elbow's tight, right? If we look at the 3 holes, there's a hole here for his head to go. There's a hole here for him to cut me out. And then there's a hole in the middle. If I throw him inside and I'm shoving into him, for him to go out the back door. So I'm conscious of all the holes when I'm in this position. I box with my forearms, I throw them inside, and now I keep this hole covered. Right here, I'm trying to stretch out the side that he's on. Stretch, 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 stretch. All right? Some of you guys are trying to sprawl back first. We're saying this guy took such a good shot. This position is so good. This is where we're going to defend from, right? If I can defend this guy from here, a crack shot with his head down here, this is going to be easy for him. All right? So here, there's no surprise. If you're wrestling a guy that's better than you, expect him to get here. Box him with your forearm. Stuff, and I keep my weight on him. I'm trying to drive him back that way. His position is so good, he's going to be improving, that I can't sprawl back. Go ahead, keep building on him. Can't get my hip back. So that's why I stuff his head, catch. Drive his head back, or drive his hip back. The longer this guy holds, the better it is for me. Here, bump, start stuffing, and there, I see it. That's what I need to catch up to. Knowing this is an opening, right? I can't grab like this. Now I just gave him a double, I gave him a cut across.
So my weight is shifting so that that hole closes up. Here, come around. So no matter what the guy's doing, whether it's single or high crotch, doesn't matter. Single, I'm trying to take him and extend the side that he's on. Here, this side, watch his ribs, watch his shoulder. I didn't do anything, I just left his hips in one spot and kept working my legs back to get his side totally extended. We'll get into this in a little bit, but defending a regular high crotch, I want to be rotating him so I extend this side still. Make him long, stretched out. That lock is going to break eventually. Does that make sense? So don't go back first. Stuff and start attacking him forward because you can't go back. That's where he's building to. He's getting you long and extended. He's hustling. He's posturing up. Here. I got to attack him this way where he isn't. Here. Now I have cradles, getting elbow deep. I have Turks with my hip pressure, running us right in 5 points instead of 2. So looking for that Turk out of it. High crotch, blocking. Make sure you're getting your weight coming down so he can't run you up. Right? If he runs me up, I'm defending from here. This is a different story. Keep him on the mat. Here. Box him inside, catch up to the leg. You can go elbow on his hip, keep him set here. Elbow deep, now you're looking for cradle or Turk. But I want to just get inside these knees and split them. He starts bellying down, Swing this way to the right. It's not a big race here. If I can keep my chest heavy on him and keep him split, he's not going anywhere. I'm going to take my elbow, jam it right in his hip. As he crawls forward, my hip goes with him. So he can't ever get off this leg. Now I just foot fight my leg in here. Hip on hip, run him over. Got my stuff, throw him inside, there's my leg, I gotta catch it. He starts bellying out, or maybe he starts wrestling me, whatever. Keep him on his hip. Turk. This hip is going over on the Turk. Last time. Good. 1, 2, 3. So, stay on single defense. Say the guy gets in, maybe it's a high crotch. Here, maybe I throw him inside, but I can't get his head down enough, right? This is effective because I catch a guy when he's lazy and his head is kind of floppy, right? He's got good position, he's pulling my leg in, but he's not locked out from neck all the way down to his butt. So here, I can catch his head and I stuff it in. What some of you guys were missing is you'll get here, and then you'll go back, and then you'll, oh yeah, the leg. For me, it's all in one motion. I want to get him jammed so his shoulder goes into his ear. So he shoots in, I throw him to the side. Here, you see how his head is kicked? Drive him over. That's how I get the guy to his hip. When it's a slower process, or it's 2 steps, here, stuffing. Oh yeah, then shift. He'll start running his hips back. And I just got myself down instead of knocking him over. So it's a short window that I can catch from. Here. He's like this. Shoulder in the air. Alright? So maybe I can't get that. He's got good posture. I can't shut his head down without leaving myself open. So you may end up coming up to your feet. Here. First is that position, and I'm balanced here. Just like you're hopping around stretching in the beginning. I don't care what he's doing. If he splits his hands, he's got to attack my other leg. So that's what you want. You want the split to happen so you're ahead of it. Shot, throw him in. I can't stuff his head. I start getting space in between his body and mine with my head. That split came. looking to catch a hand, and totally relaxed, right? If you ever feel those hands split, start high. Right here. If you ever feel the hands split, the guy just lost all of his power, right? He's trying to hold your one leg with just one hand. Being relaxed in here. He's not going anywhere. I'm starting to attack his posture. He's getting frustrated. If he splits his hands, I rip it up, clear my leg. If he's good, he doesn't split his hands. This is a battle right here. I want to keep him locked at my knee and get my knee heavy. Again, I start attacking his position, going through him, going backwards instead of trying to sprawl back. Get my position back. See the shift, my level's coming down. If I'm standing tall, he's got a clear shot to my other leg, running me down. Start putting space in there with my head, dropping my body down. I know that at some point, since I'm defending him and dropping my weight, there might be a cutback or run the pipe coming. And I'm hopping with him. If anything, I can't split his hands, he doesn't split his hands, I can't get my foot back, get your foot down. Now we're in the same position. Stuffing his head, trying to catch up to his hip. Here. Same thing we just did. Instead of from the mat, you're doing it from standing. Good? Last time. You ready for that hand split? If it does, you catch it, you get something in the way, your leg comes out easy. If the guy's good, he doesn't split. Get his head down, catch, hips are in. Good? 1, 2, 3. TBH.
Never.
Tired, it must be a good thing. So from a single or from a high crotch, doesn't matter. The position's the same. So here this guy beat us, right? I can't sprawl anymore. By getting head position, here, I force this guy to get head position back on me, and he's gonna roll his head under. Or most of the time he'll do that. If I just leave him up in here and I'm trying to pull the head down, he's too strong in here. He's already taking good position from me. So here, I start attacking his lock, I start putting weight into it, getting his head away from his body, he rolls under. That's when I can jump, catch up. I forgot to mention this earlier, but this hand, what am I doing with this hand? I'm blocking his hips, so I keep his hips in front of me, right? It's not just closing off this side, but I'm really blocking so I can catch up to this leg, here. And then that hip switch comes. Knock him over. That's an important point I forgot to make. That's my fault. Head position. Look at his arm. I'm stuffing his head, trying to extend my leg back as I block. Catch. How's that feel? Not good? Yeah. All right. So get confidence from your defense through progression, right? We started on the mat. Go back down. If it was a lefty high C, we're good at defending singles now. We just head club him inside, stuff his head, catch up to him. We couldn't get his head stuffed because his posture's too good. He postured up on us. He drives up to our feet. I'm still okay. I'm looking for that hand. I'm out. He's good. He keeps his hand locked. Go ahead, grab single again. Here, I can't get his head down. Head position. He rolls underneath. Catch. Maybe he snuck one on us. Got a single leg. Gets us all the way to where we don't want to be here. Where were we before, right? Notice where his lock was. At my knee. So keep it simple. Get your foot through here. And his lock at your knee. Now you're in close. He'll roll his head underneath. So it's all the same move. You just take it in steps to get back to where you're comfortable. One step at a time, get back to the position you want. Chin. From his knees, that position was here. Walking my leg back. From our feet, that position's the same. I'm just on my feet. From leg high inside, shoving my foot through. Attack his elbows, shove in. Just gotta work a little bit harder, right? You get your leg up. The sprint is not to get him off your leg right away. It's to get back to that place that you know you're familiar with. That place we've just been hammering out for the last hour. Shove. That head came down. Way down. I want to get him to a position he wants to let go. Make him think twice about shooting on me. That's where the hips come from. Shot. That's really good. He beat us here. Elbows, shove your foot through. Here. Running him over. Looking for my Turk. Remember that elbow locks his hip out so he crawls forward. My hip and my elbow and my knee move together. Crawl. Crawl. Get off the leg. Get off the leg. Come on, Robbie. Come on, Robbie. Got it happening. Elbow, hip, move together. See it again? All right. You guys got any film left over there? Use up all the minutes. Be patient. That's my sprint. Little sprint to get my knee back at his lock. This sucks for me. I'm not that flexible. I'm more comfortable here. Blocking as you extend your leg out and twist. Good? 1, 2, 3. The same thing, just to get the confidence across to you. This is where you go. You know, the guy gets in, it's not a move. It's head down, square your hips. Right, every time. And that's going from the best position possible, right? Say you took a horrible shot, or a not so good shot. Head down, square my hips. Bless you. Going from that really good position here, down square the hips. And look at it, it comes from all places. Single leg on the mat, single leg on your feet, single leg high inside. You're just getting yourself back down that progression of steps back to the mat. Does that make sense? All right? Say he's the guy that gets in and tries to finish quick. The hand split or whatever. Yeah, just like try to run with double. So you find the hand also, just like on high crotch. High crotch. This is automatic. I keep this stuff so he can't surprise me and cut across right away. On a single leg, same thing. I'm trying not to let him get my 2 legs. If he does run through me, my goal is to try to shove my leg out as far as I can. The more space I have here, the better off I am. Single legs, you want your legs wide. Does that make sense? He's on a single, you're thinking head down, square the hips, legs wide, space. Right? He goes to cut across from here. Get the leg out, kick it out, kick it out, kick it out. He's going to run himself into the mat. We get into this position, he gets the leg all the way up. Maybe it's a trip or something. Wide, 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 wide. I can still wrestle from here. Yeah, it's a scramble and it's not ideal. But I'm not out of it yet. You know, I see too many guys that get down to here and then they start turning away. That single comes high. I can't go from here and get my rock through. He finishes quick. Jumping out, you're trying to square, keep your hips in front of them, and attack a hand. Some guys, our head coach at Campbell, keep coming to the corner, he likes to go whizzer, get the guy coming up to his hip. So he's on my ankle right now. There, hip. Now I can start pulling him up the body. He split his hands, he starts improving. I wrestle back into my foot, and I pull him up off my leg. I like to keep my hands, keep his hands from going backside on me. So he was just around the corner, reach and grab my ankle. In college now they're saying this is borderline too. New rule last year, if you get to the side, the shoulder beat behind his butt, touching a leg, and if it's here, 2. So if I can attack this hand, I can keep that from happening, right? Even if he's all the way behind me, technically by the rules, there's no 2 yet. So play with, he finishes quick on you, maybe it's a pike, maybe it's a trick. I don't know where his hand's going to be, but I do know it's coming backside on me at some point, trying to catch that leg. So I have my elbow into him, and then my hand kicks out. Just guess where his hand's going to be. So if I shoot my hand straight down, it's in the way of him going backside on me. Keep reaching. Now I have a hand. Make sense? And play with pulling the leg up. So maybe it comes off a pipe. He ran the pipe on you, surprised you. Pull him up to your hip, wrestle in. Look for your own shot. Does that make sense? See it again? Alright. This is basically what I'm doing, keeping him from going backside. Like I said, you pretty much have 2 options. You can go whizzer and start pulling him up as he's coming around you. Here, you split him. I like to wait for the reaction to come and keep his arm. Like, when you try to grab something and you can't quite get it, you kind of feel a little dumb, right? So here, I make this guy feel a little dumb. Get my leg back. But we took it to our feet, and this is a little bit away from defense, but re-shooting the guy. If I'm going to down block and attack him, I do that so I'm ready for my shot. Instead of always going hand down, leg back. Where's my shot coming now? I gotta go righty, right? My right leg's forward. I can't just spring right back into him. So I go foot or hand down, foot back. I'm lunging in. I wrestle underneath guys and inside. So with head position, this is important. I don't want to just be here, because now I have to get my stance lower to get in. So he shoots. A down block, but there's no opening for me. You see that? I got to go around him. If I'm here, he shoots. I'm underneath him and in. So that's pretty much how you want it to feel. Every time a guy attacks you, you want to at least threaten him into thinking he can't score on you, right? Or every time he shoots, he knows he's got to be, oh man, what's coming next? So that down block reshot is pretty much automatic. Or at least the level change. But we were just talking, where's he at? What's your name? Wilson. Wilson's got doing a pretty good job with this. Keeping good position. Go ahead, shoot. He'd be looking back in after I told him to reshoot, but this leg goes away. So he's in a front headlock position. This isn't good. This guy quickly jumps the angle on me. It's like I just gave up 2 points. But the thing is, you never get spun on. Never let somebody spin on you. Okay? That's just like you giving up. Coaches from the corner, we're going to be like, I can't help this kid. He's just giving points away. Because it's a fight. Here, I get my outside ear across his chest. Hold me in there. Hold me in front of him. Posture up, okay? For me, my team, posture up means getting this ear through so that he can't pull on you anymore. As he continues to pull, he's pulling me into his shot. Does that make sense? So posture up. Wrestling is hard. You're going to take a little bit of pressure. You're going to get hands on you, take a little abuse. But I get to a point where that abuse isn't so bad. And I can score from it. So now, he shoots on me, I down block, and attack him. I attacked it, instead of going hand down, leg back. Shoot. This puts me on the defense. Stuff his shot, attack him. Front headlock comes, outside ear, across his chest. Does that make sense? One more time. By leaving my head, go this way, here in this hole, he's got an angle on me, right? Reach and grab my leg. No problem. Right here, relax. Come back. So my head's to that hole, look at the angle. It's an easy grab for him. I put my head back inside, grab the leg. Good, good. Does that make sense? Little sprints of positioning, right? It's a progression to get back to your good position. Down block, reshot, spin it up. Circle that outside ear to his chest. He shoots. If nobody can keep you in a front headlock or score on you in a front headlock, there's nothing keeping you from shooting. You can shoot as many times as you want. The guy's never going to score on you, right? Basic, makes sense? 1, 2, 3. This is the same kind of thing. So whether it comes from here, me shoving him going through the middle, all I need to worry about is keeping him in front of me because I'm going to get back to kicking my legs out, right? Don't freak out like you need a defense from here. Yes, this is good. Pop me up here, catching an arm. But we're staying fundamental. First, I would rather not get lifted so easy, right? So he goes underneath me, and I crush his head and his neck, put all this weight on. See where my feet are? I get a lot of this weight down when my feet are close to his head, close to his knees. If I'm out here, I get weight, but it's more on his back. That's the weight he can lift me with. That makes sense? So whether he lifts me from here, go ahead and raise up, or he can shift his lock, shift his hand up to my top of my thigh, and now run me up. So I gotta give him my hips. So be aware of where your feet are. He's in there through the middle. It's effective for me because my toes are right under my butt. When my toes start getting back here, that's when my weight shifts onto his shoulders again. Again, it's the same thing. All I really need to be confident in is keeping him in one spot, freezing him, and then I'll figure out the defense from there. Make sense? Moving on to high crotch. Here, we get in this position. Maybe I can't get my rack, right? I can't get my head, my arm throwing his head inside, and we'll end up crackdown. Right? This guy can't come up, and he sets me, or I set him into a crackdown. My goal is one butt cheek, right? So if we would look at this like I was the offensive guy, my goal is to get him on both cheeks, essentially going like this. If I can get him on both butt cheeks, I can run him over. If I can get him on both butt cheeks, I can get my arm out, up to the side, and finish with a double. So as defensive guy, I know that. I know the position I'm looking for offensively, so I keep him on one. This one is anchored in, and I'm up off my other butt cheek, right? Locking. I try to get my lock as deep as I can where it's in his armpit. Here. And I can get that cradle grip and crunch him, and I crunch to my own elbow, and then extend back. See where my chest is? That same position we finished that high crotch defense before when we twisted him out. Rock him up, and I don't leave my hips up here. Now he can build back up, and I gave him my hip, and I'm on both butt cheeks or I'm getting taken down. So that weight shifts. Slide back. Chest is on his shoulder, chest is on his armpit, and you keep him as heavy as possible. Move with me, Rodney. Right? Gluing his shoulders to the mat. Come on. Shot, stuff. Got me. I gotta quickly catch up. Keep him in front of me as much as I can. I don't want him getting over this foot. So that lock is deep in his armpit and across his chest, and I crunch my elbow back towards his head. That's my post. I want to try to avoid getting my lock sucked underneath, being on my shoulder. Now I'm freed up this side. He's got me here. Back. if I rock him up to my shoulder, since my lock is in his armpit, I'm able to hip ice hands free. Good? See it again? In. Cracks me down on my one butt cheek. Remember how we said on a single, my legs are spread wide? I don't want to be wide here in the crackdown. I want to be tight. Keeping it right here in my pocket. Drive him up to my elbow. My chest wants to finish on his armpit, on his ribs. Good? Sneaking my knee in. Again, locking in with my elbow. He slides forward. I slide with it. I slide with it. Until I can climb into my turn. Good? 1, 2, 3. Crack down. Immediately try to get my foot outside. This is a pain. Alright? My goal is to frustrate this guy. Hop. Hop and catch. Right? This is no effort. I'm not holding, I'm not squeezing him, I'm not flexing. I'm just sitting here. I have him up on my shoulder. Rotate it through. And I want to start sliding back, 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 back. Shot comes. Woo. Remember, feet stay tight on a crackdown. I got my block. Stuffing him. Stuffing him. Slide into it and catch. Roll him through. Maybe he stays locked on me and we end up back at the crackdown. But I'm still good here, right? Maybe I can go back to that lock. Maybe we're back in the same situation. He goes to hop again. Knock him out, get your points. Does that make sense? So one more time on that slide. This foot is important, like I said, because it's annoying, it frustrates it. Kick my legs straight, keep them out. That hop comes. Hop. My feet are messing with it. He hops. Feet are messing with it. He goes to hop, post, and I slide into it. It's big. We don't know where it's going to go from here. It's going to scramble. You come up, still on my leg. Maybe it's out the back door position. Right, he's coming up, coming up, coming up. I adjust. Yeah. Good. Block, block, catch, block, catch, block. He starts to really get frustrated because a big leap over you. You lock, slide. Catch, straight going. Good. 1, 2, 3.